Hello everyone, I am Surrendal the Awesome, and I'm back, and I'm ready to look at some more r/ChoosingBeggars. But before I get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if I can't convince you, perhaps this picture of my kitten will convince you. Without further ado, let's get into this. So this first post here says, from an article about things that annoy chefs and restaurant workers most. And this news article here says, like any central London restaurant, we receive a couple of requests a day for free meals in return for posts from social media influencers. Most are turned down. The consensus is, if an influencer needs to approach you, they're not worth working with. Yeah, that's actually a very good sentiment to have, because if they're, a famous social media influencer, they should have more than enough money to pay you, and they could also, give you some social media exposure. Anyways, this person here goes on to say, some are polite, some are cocky, some are just downright entitled. They believe their own hype. They think any exposure is beneficial. I've seen high-profile openings booked out for 3 months on influencer babble that 6 months later are empty. Long-term regulars are the holy grail. I have guests who came on first dates who are now celebrating years of marriage. They are true ambassadors. Okay, for this one, I'm gonna give this 50 out of 50 on the awesome scale, because yeah, that's actually a pretty good rule to have, more or less. If a social media influencer is, having to approach you to get a free meal, they're just not worth working with. And this next post here says, for 7 kids. And this person here says, ISO, full-time nanny, $3K a month, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in my home on blank, ages 19 months, 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15 years old. Okay. I guess this depends on how the 15-year-old is, and the 12-year-old, and I guess to a lesser extent the 10-year-old is, because if they're maybe, really, really good, then I would say I could maybe allocate some responsibilities to them to maybe help me with this. Anyways, this person goes on to say, July 2023, 4.2K a month plus newborn. I will have the newborn for feeding times, and you'll be responsible for snuggles. I work remotely from my home office. Anyone have ideas? Welcome to bring your kids, as long as favoritism isn't an issue. And this person in the comments down here says, that's not even a minimum wage for the state now. 50 hours a week for 3K is only $15, when the state minimum is $15.74. Okay, for this one here, I am sort of a bit split on. I mean, yes, that's a bit low, and yes, that's below minimum wage for the state, but, if maybe, the 15-year-old and 12-year-old, and to a lesser extent the 10-year-old are pretty good, then I would say I could maybe allocate responsibilities to them, and actually they're not, willing to pay, in the single digits in terms of dollar value for, babysitting. And yeah, for this one, I'm gonna probably give this a 35 out of 50. I am really hoping that there's at least some room for a compromise here, maybe I could allocate responsibilities to the 15-year-old and 12-year-old, maybe even the 10-year-old. That could maybe help me a bit here. And this next post here says, stalking and bullying a child for a free drawing. And this person here says, am I the a-hole for wanting my son's classmates to draw him too because she drew the entire class? I am a 41-year-old female. I have 2 sons. This post is about my older son, which is 14. I'm pretty sure you mean who is 14. Anyways, this person goes on to say, recently they took a class photo. One of the girls in his class really likes drawing and decided to use the photo as a reference to draw. She drew the entire class except for 4 to 5 people. She even drew the teachers. My son showed me the drawing on his phone and said that he was upset he wasn't there, but he also said that he didn't really mind. I got upset that she didn't draw my son, so I decided to message their parents, and I told them that their daughter drew the entire class except for my son. Except for 4 to 5 people as well? Anyways, this person goes on to say, her parents apologized and said that they'll ask their daughter why. 2 days later, my son didn't even get any apology or drawing from this girl. I decided to message her parents again, and it turns out that they never told her anything about it. I got mad, so I decided instead of messaging the parents, I will message the girl. As soon as I messaged her asking why she didn't draw my son, she said that it took a long time and that she didn't have enough room. Hey, maybe that probably wasn't such a great idea to, be messaging the girl, because that kinda can come across as a bit stalkerish. Anyways, this person goes on to say, after she said that, she blocked me. I got even more frustrated, so I told my son to text her. He said that he didn't want to do that, and that it would be embarrassing to ask for a drawing since she probably was mad at me. I called this BS, and well, she kinda blocked you, so I think she might be a bit mad at you. Anyways, this person goes on to say, and went to their school the next day. Yeah. Great idea there, my friend. Anyways, this person goes on to say, I found the girl and asked her why she blocked me. Yeah, I wonder why as well. Anyways, this person goes on to say, I might have been an a-hole here. She didn't respond and just looked me in the eyes. She seemed so uninterested, so I got mad and demanded her to draw my son. My son saw me and called me insane. He told me that I'm overreacting. I told him not to take any BS like this from others, and asked the girl to draw him again. She told me to give her money if I want a drawing. Well, you probably should have started with that. That maybe could have helped sway her opinion. Anyways, this person goes on to say, I told her that she was stupid and that it took her like a day to make a drawing of 30 people. She just asked me to leave and that she wasn't interested in drawing my son. I got furious and left. Before I left, I heard my son saying sorry because I was acting like a complete psychopath. I called my husband and explained this to him. He said that I was immature to handle this situation like this and that it was her decision whether to draw him. Am I the a-hole? Yes. Yes, you are. And I'm gonna give this a special out of 50. In what way, in what world, did you think to yourself, this is perfectly a-okay to do? I think with that, that's gonna do it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.